This video is about doing this homework Weber vegetable pan. As you can see here on one of the slides, the task is creating this pan with a pattern in it, put a logo on, use stainless steel material 1 millimeters, and also create a drawing of this part, both the folded and the unfolded one. The folded, or actually it is a flat pattern that we are looking at. So it's actually something like that we'll end up with. I have already done it here. So you can see something like that. We can make our own decisions here about the dimension. Dimensions are shown approximate. So make your own decisions. What I will do is actually make is as a square to make my life easier, to be honest. So something like that, and also I think I've done a drawing of it, something like that, where we have the folded one and the unfolded one like that. But let's have a look. I'll start up from scratch, creating a new one. Remember, when you start up, if it's a simple part, we can use the shortcuts on the front page here. Here, I want to create a new one because I want to use the sheet metal template because it is a sheet metal. So open that one, move into the sketch mode, and I will simply start up creating the first feature, which I have chosen to be the rectangle, or a square actually. But a rectangle I'll start up with here. Yeah, it could be the 2-point center, because then I can put it in the center. That's a good idea to use the center points all the time. So something like that. Try again. 300. I think that was better. And we see it's not defined in the other direction that yet, so I will put that on. Dimension. That one. And I'll actually, this dimension D1, I will like to have it exactly the same. So I can simply click that one and then tells me that D1 equals D0 actually now. Of course, if there's a rectangle with different dimension, can't do it like that. Okay, remember if our sketch is a little crowded, we can, a little luck, I can move that dimension a little bit like that. So this is my basic sketch. Now I'll move straight into the sheet metal setup here, you can see. We still have the 3D model area here, but for now I'll use the sheet metal setup. Remember, it could actually also have started as a normal part, but then we should have converted it to sheet metal. Sheet metal defaults before I make my face. I think I have a short look at that one. Sheet metal default. Yeah, I'll use its default template here. So I'll click the pin. So I'll stick with that default one. We could create a new template actually, create new local style with your own material. That's not what companies often do. But material, generic, yeah, that's an issue material. But we have a few here. So I can see if I can find something stainless, got just stainless, or maybe more specific, I could use that stainless steel 440C thickness. Change that to be 1 millimeter. I think I actually remember the last ones I have used. I'll stick with the K factor also. It can also, of course, be looked into if you want. Normally it is a standard setup, so the K factor is 0.44. It is normally close to 0.5. So I think should be the 1 which I choose from the thickness. So let's see what happens when I create a face here. So 1 should create it 1 millimeter. See it here. We can check if we are in doubt, but why shouldn't it? Measure the distance. You can see it is 1 millimeter. So this is my basic feature, the face. So next I will look at adding. See, I have chosen to add flanges, use a flange option. So let's do that. Back to sheet metal. Flange, this one. And here, remember, we can pick, we could do two things here, loop selection mode, or we can pick edge selection mode. Edge selection, it's one at a time. Loop selection picks all of them in one go. But for selected, I think I have chosen that to be 60 degrees, and the distance of 60, I think, actually. Also, so 60 degrees and 60 high. But again, that is my choice. We could have a look here at what is actually going on. So we see this is what is planning to do here, the bend position. We can choose that position. You see, that is my initial sketch that I have here. So now it's adding it as inside of reference plane, as I call it. If I choose it to be bent from adjacent face, it means that it puts it onto the outside face here. And it could be, that's what I have chosen here. I will choose, because then I can stick with my initial sketch dimension of the 300. Bend radius taken from the table from the setups, sheet set metal defaults. So you can see it actually equals the thickness, 1 millimeter. Yeah, so let's stick with that and see what's going on here. It's about the bendings, how we put the bend. Now I'll stick with the one from intersection of two outer faces. I'll okay it. I think that is fine. So far, a good idea, which I often do, is remember saving your stuff. Never trust digital programs. Shit happens all the time. So I'll not save. I think I'll just save it on the desktop. Could call it paper. Oh, put the name on here. Actually, if you're working for a company, when you are naming things, you're probably giving it numbers, because the numbers are what you are, how you are controlling things, you can say. So that's also what is put into the iProperties, which again is put onto the drawings. Okay, and you can see what it has done. It has, we could have a look at it. What is actually added this metering. I don't think I mentioned that. Let's see if I can find it here in the bend. I think it's in corner. You can see the default is we have a square here. It can be changed to other shapes, maybe more proper here. I don't know. Apply auto metering. That's the one I mentioned. I didn't mention. So you see, normally a flange is like that, but if I apply auto metering, then it's extending it to the other flange. And gap, the meter gap, is set to the sheet metal defaults. It can be changed, of course, if you want another size meter gap. I'll stick with the default. Okay, so far so good. Now, next, I think we could check this one actually. If I want to see what it is, I can go into the this feature, click show dimension, and I can see how it's done. And this is actually 60 and 60. You can see here. Okay, I would like to create this handle thing here. I have done that with a contour flange. So let's see if we can succeed in doing that. I'll start a sketch, and actually here I have been thinking a little bit, because I have put my feature in the center. So I think I will sketch on this XZ plane, which is one of the center planes. So something like that. You can see it has put the sketching plane in the center. If we actually want to see what is going on, then I can press F7. You can see exactly what is going on. We're cutting away half of it. That's actually this option we have in the view here, half section view. So let's see if we can do a proper sketch for this one. I think I'll use the arc option here. Sketch something approximately, something like that. I'll leave that at radius 10. I think it's the proper size. Then I want, of course, to constrain it. We are 4 dimensions down here, 4 dimensions needed. What I want here is to make a changing constraint on the arc to this one, and on the arc to also this one. And we need a dimension from there to there. I'll leave that at 20. Then you can see one missing, and because we have a control of that endpoint, you can see if I click the automatic dimension and constraints, it will actually add a dimension there. We can, of course, at that dimension, we can also do another thing, because I think I'll use the coincident constraint there and the endpoint to that line. And then you can see it actually is fully constrained now. So I think I succeeded in doing my sketch, and it's flying out in the air. But we now add this contour flange like that. So the profile click, it is actually how it works, the contour flange. We can use an open profile here. Normally it has the profiles need to be closed, but here we can actually use an open profile. And then next you can see select an edge. We obviously want to add it to that edge there. You see, I think actually it looks okay from the preview. Let's see what happens if I press OK. That seems to be okay. So what's next? Yeah, there's different things we can do here. We can now, of course, start mirroring it, this one to the other side, and we can start cutting out for the handle. You can see what do we have here on this one. If I leave that sketch again, we can. It's having a hard job here. There's a lot of features in the sheet metal part like that. But you see, what I mean is that we have this cutout. I want to create something like that. So I think actually I will open it now and then create the cuts, all the cuts. It could be an idea. Let's see if it works. Sorry, I was interrupted, but I am back again. So next thing to do here, I guess, is looking at doing the cuts. But I think before we do that, we need to actually add this feature also to the other side. So we'll add the contour flanks to the other side. I think simply use the mirror option there. Pick the contour flanks, the mirror plane, like that, and you can see it adds it nicely to the other side. So now we actually got more or less all our solid features. So we can move to do the cuts. And for that purpose, I think actually I will try to unfold it. So we are here now. So I'm talking about all those cuts now and the rounds there. So to actually come in and unfolded state, it could be an advantage. Then I'll click the unfold and then keep that the bottom as the stationary reference. Add all bins and OK it. So let's see. So now it is in the unfold state here. So now I want to start up a sketch so I can do my cut here. Something like that. And then down here, I think I'll start up with doing an arc from there. It's just somewhere. See, now I have an arc. And I think I will use a radius 30. I guess that'll be a good choice here. And then carry on with the line. And also do a line there. To be on safe side, I'll actually simply close it here. And it looks a little strange here. I could have done it differently in a smarter way, but I will add a constraint, tangent constraint here. So it should work perfectly fine. Distance to there should be 50. It's a good choice. Something is missing here. You can see it is not actually. You can also see it straight away. It is not fixed. Center point is not fixed to the side. So I think I'll do that with coincident constraint, point, line, and then it's OK. Right click, OK it. Finish the sketch. Move to the sheet metal again, and then do a cut. And it should be in the sheet metal, not a 3D model cut or a hole or what do we have here. I think there's also a cut here somewhere. But never mind. Stick with cut we have in the sheet metal mode. Profile is already chosen. That's the only profile we have. Thickness, distance is set to thickness. That's fine. Of course, if we change the thickness later, it will still cut through. But we got other options, to, next to, from to, or all could also work. But that should be fine. So I have my cutouts. And then next I could, of course, do a new sketch and so on. But why not use the pattern option, mirror? So if I choose the cut here and then the mirror plane, this is, I think I can find it, it's this XZ plane here. Like that, and then I will mirror this mirror and a cut to the other side. Let's see if that works. So I have the cut and the mirror plane, and in this case it is YZ. And OK it, and you can see seems to be fine. So far so good. Let's have a look at the next thing to do here. We could, of course, now I remember it. We need some round corner round, I think here. These edges could be nice to have, so we don't have those sharp edges. So So something like that. That one. Sometimes a hard job doing it manually, but I think that was okay. So I now got some nice round edges there, or corner rounds. Okay, let's have a look at the pattern. Let's move to my original part I have already done. We have this patterns here. I have chosen some dimensions on it, which I found appropriate. I think here my plan is to start up here doing this cut, patternize that, do that cut, patternize that, do that cut, patternize that, but of course with the same dimensions on. So let's have a look at that one. So I will start a sketch, surprisingly. Let's see, up here. And the first one I would like to, that's this one I have to go back and forth here because I have done it. So this one at the top, I think I'll start up with that one. And in the rectangular drop down menu, we have actually some slots here. I think I'll use that one. Why not? And I think this is actually, I've chosen that to be 25. And the width here to be 4, I think. I figured out that was a proper size actually for that cutout. Okay, then we need to place it. 2 dimensions needed is obviously that we can move it freely. So we need to dimension, I think I'll dimension it from the top to the center. That one, and it should be, as I remember, I think it was 11.5. This one was a proper dimension. And then also dimension from the center. I think that is the best way to, instead of dimension it from a random place somewhere, a random point. I think I actually dimension it from the center, and I can better control it symmetrically. So I think I will project this YZ plane, or actually it could also be the Y-axis. That's dimension it from that one now and to this center point. That's the most logical thing to do. And I think I found that to be 130 was a proper dimension there. So something like that. Fully constrained, and now can finish it and do my cuts. Again, the thickness is okay here. So far, so good. So this was this cut here. And I think I'll keep them separate. I found that to be the easiest to do. Let's try to do maybe this one down here. See if we can fix that. We could actually move into doing some copying of that sketch, but yeah, whatever you choose to do. I think I'll move into again doing a slot type here, down here, and I'll just draw it straight away because now I want to look at this one also. Because we'll add the dimension for the width here, and there's actually 4, that is right, but I'm not changing for now, but I will just add that. Like that. Actually here we could move, I think it's the reason for doing that. I know this is 25 and this is 4, but I want to actually use the dimension from the original sketch. So let's see if I can find that one. Okay, it's here. You see this dimension which we have there. I should have written it down, but actually this cut we have here. I can show the dimension. I think that's fine. Let's see here on this if I could catch it. This one. Oh, it's a hard job to find it. There this was. That was the thickness. You can see this is D33. And if I could find that one, that could be really nice. That was D32. The reason for actually fiddling around with that is that I will reuse those dimensions. Those can also be found in if I move to manage here in the parameters list. That's actually where we can also find all the dimensions that we have. I think they are down here, all those, this D32, D33. Okay, well, was a lot of fiddling around, but the thing is, this one should be, if I simply write D, it was 32, this one, and this was D33. So now it will follow if I change that one, that will also change. Okay, I think I have found the back to sketch, move back to here, easier to work with. I need a dimension, and I think I'll dimension it from the center point to that center line. Is that possible? It could be nice if it was, maybe not. But maybe we need to predict it, I don't know. Let's see. We can do it. To be on safe side, I will predict it. So it's now active. And this should be 26. And that was the distance, but also you can see I have got one dimension needed. It's because it can still be moved sideways. Yeah. So I actually want to put the center point onto this center line there. Again with the coincident constraint. This one. That one. So seems to be okay. Finish the sketch again. Back to the sheet metal and do a cut. The only option we have, stick with the thickness and then cut the cut. So that was great. But actually we got one missing, that's this one. And I'll keep them separate because I will now later make a pattern out of it. Let's start a new sketch. Maybe actually here I could be a little lazy here. I could show that one with this sketch 8. Move into into sketch mode. Edit sketch. I don't know if it's actually lazy to do this, but if I'm reusing this one, I could do that. Simply pick that one, right click and copy. Start a new sketch here. Paste it. See where it ends. Exactly on the top of the other one. But I should be able to move it. You can see it is a separate sketch. Yeah. Let's see if it is actually fixed to that one. I need to use a move option here. Let's see what happens. I think my command's better. I didn't get that. don't know if actually if it is an advantage, but because now I had to correct things, but I hope to get the point. Sometimes it can be nice to actually copy things. This is not on. I need to extend that one. That one. It's better now. This one, I copied some of the dimension. This one again is the, see if I can remember right. I think it was D32. And this one was D33. So it's only copied the geometry actually. See. So let's see if it works. But if it is an advantage, that can be discussed, as you can see. But I want to put that center line in the center of this point, so you can see I can make that succeed. It's a horizontal constraint here. That line onto already exists. Okay, that was a surprise, but let's see. It's better. So I moved it up, and I need a distance, obviously. Do I have something here, or do I need to project? I would like to use the center here. Could be I needed to project all the geometry. Got what I need. The distance from here to there. And that was, as I remember, if I remember, maybe I need to check that one. I think it was 26. Something like that. I'll check that in a minute. Still, we need 2 dimensions. It's not so good. Because we have, we see the problem here. You see, I'm really getting into trouble with doing that copying. So maybe it wasn't that great an idea. So I've got some extra things here on that I don't want. I see it is halved, this one as well. So a lot of strings things have been done here. Let's see if I can correct it. I don't know if I can. Try. 1, 2, that one. Let's see, that one to that one. That was better, and then I'll trim the end point of that one down to 1 now. So what is wrong? Let's check it. I think there was some constraining with the tangent constraint was lost. So now it's okay. As you see, that wasn't the best choice in the world I did there. But let's check this distance, which I can't remember. I think it was 26, the distance from the center to that one. See if I can find it. I have done this one slightly different actually, but let's see if I can find the original ones. I think that's the one here. That sketch. Oh, okay. I remember correctly. It was actually 26. So this is perfect. And this fx means that it is taken from it is reference to the other dimension again here. So let's move on. Make a cut again. This one, stick with the thickness. Something like that. So far, so good. I think actually we should have the pattern now. So we should be able to create the pattern from here. Well, let's see if we can succeed. So I'll start up patternizing the top one. So actually we are finish the sketch again. We can follow where we are. need to think. There's a lot of features on my old computer here. So I want to patternize this top one. There are 6 of them. So pattern, rectangular pattern, that one, direction, that direction, it's fine, 6 of them, and the distance of, see if I can remember that one, I think it was 52, as I remember. That's a good choice. It's about putting it symmetrical. I think it was the one. It's because it's now symmetrical about the center planes. I've done some calculations on them. Yeah. So next, to patternize, could you be this one? Actually, could have in this pattern, instead of adding another pattern, we could add also this feature, I think. So we put that in the same pattern to make it easy instead of creating 2 of them. But this one needs to be different. But again, the pattern, direction, same direction. But now I want 5 of them. But still 52. So I think it works perfectly fine. Yeah, so far so good. So Ski is a long way to go actually here, but try to see if I can succeed. Okay, next I think maybe we could have a look at how could we copy those to the other flanges we have. And I think I'll try to use the circular pattern because it's totally symmetrical, this one. Oh, let's see what happened. So all the, I think I need to choose all of them here. Also the patterns here. Rotation axis, let's see if I can find that somewhere. I think it's the Z axis. I have to see. Yes, I think it is the one. Z axis. So it looks a little strange for now. If I press 4 there, and it seems to be okay. So let's see what's happened. Okay, was actually okay. So I have done a lot of things now. I think I'll save it. Yes, so far so good. But what about, we have some remaining ones down here. Let's have a look. That one. It's the same size we have down here. So I think I'll start up a sketch again. Let's see what we have here. We could do exactly the same, I think. This pattern, we see this one is the same, put in the center of that one. We have this one comes here, so let's maybe start from an end here again. Patternizing things. I guess it can be done differently, but never mind. I think we'll do it in this way and in the sketcher slots. It's fine. And I think that was what we wanted here. Sorry, I need to check again if I'm doing it correctly. I think it is. That's the one here I'm trying to do. Okay. Again, dimension this one to be D33. Jump down here. Never mind. Dimension this one. That one was D32. Don't know why it jumped. Sometimes strange things happen. It is still free. You can see we've got 2 dimensions missing. So let's see if we can constrain it again with the horizontal constraint. that one to wait. I think we need some geometry here. So I think it's okay to use that one. See what happens. We have our lucky day. This was okay. Vertical. What one? That line. I think I used point there. Yeah, I could find the point actually. So now we projected it. So that was perfect. What else do we want? I want the other one we could see. We got 5 of them. We got 6 of them, so it can be have a little hard time there. So I think I'll finish it. Do it in a little, maybe not the most intelligent way. I don't know. Next cut. I think that's the one here that we belong at. That one. So again, I'll start a new sketch on it. That one. Stick with the slots. And actually here, I think I'll straight away put in the D32 and the D33 to make it easier. And then start up constraining. Center point to the center point of that one, and horizontally center point from that one to center point for that one. Finish the sketch. Cut like that. So let's move back again and see that was this one, and then we need to do also this cut. Then we should be able to do the pattern of it. I hope. It can be a little confusing, especially to me, but that's life. Start up here. Another slot. Again, do exactly the same. D32. Oh. Didn't do it properly. I'm gonna, of course, correct it later, but I think I'll start up correctly if I could. That was better. And D33. Like that. Correct things. Vertical constraint. I think I'll maybe use this one. Logical, I think. And horizontally, this one to that one. Guess that one will be perfectly fine. Cut. Okay. Now the patternizing. Starting up with the first one I created here. I think we need 6 of them. So rectangular pattern. That one. Direction 1. Stick with the same edge as before. We need 6 of them, and it was, I think we used 52 here. And again, let's see if we can use this one. We can't use that one. 2, 3, 4. So I think we need to do it like that. So now the first rectangular pattern. I think I will patternize the other ones individually, because now next I will want time to patternize in the other direction. So I think I will do them individually. So I will patternize. Oops, doesn't work. That one. And direction 1. And then these are 5 of them, still 52. Guess that was fine. Then patternizing again. Now I want this cut. direction, this direction, 5 of them, and 52. So like that, and then we can do the patternizing in the other direction. Now to do patternizing over can be confusing. I totally agree. That one and those ones and direction. Choose this direction, not that direction, so I flip it here. And now we want, I'm going to do one of them, 6 and 52. Almost too many. 6, 1, 2, I think patternized it. Okay, that's actually fine. Sorry. Next, cut this one. Rectangular pattern again. That one, and also see if I can find it. What's the last one? That one. Direction. That direction. Flip direction again. We want. I'm going to do one of them. What's those? Also 6 and 52. And okay. And then we only need these ones. So patternize that one as well. That one, and I think it was that one. Direction again. That one. Flip that direction. Now only 5 of them. 52. And okay it. So we see that was a long way to go, but I think we succeeded actually in doing it. So let's go back to our original model. We were in the fold area, so now we want to refold it to go back. So we'll do that, keep that as the reference, stationary reference, add all bends. So let's see if it works or it is crashing, we'll never know. Seems to be working fine. So far so good, and I'll simply save it now. Yeah, what can we say? We are nearly there. You can see it should be exactly the same. We got this rounds on as well, corner rounds. One thing, however, was missing. I was mentioning something with a logo. You see how I added a logo there. And this is actually added as an emboss feature. That can be done in other ways, of course, also. But I've used an emboss feature to add that logo. So we could add it wherever we want. So yeah, I can put it here if I want. So for that, I think I will create an offset plane from that surface at any distance. 10 millimeter. I will start a sketch on that plane. Move into sketch mode. And I will now simply do a sketch, a text. And they could put it at a random place. You can put it here. Right. What do we need to write? Weber line, I think it was called. Slightly bigger, maybe. I think it's too small. You can write whatever we want here. Also, do you use 10 here, for example? It's up here. Maybe this was actually too much. But, let's go back to this one. Here it was. So Weber line. Let's make it a little bit smaller somehow. That's possible. up size, something like that. Okay, here I think it was in the wrong direction, so I will rotate it. This option, modify area, geometry to rotate. I think that was the text, and then the center point for rotation. I'll just pick a random point. That one, and you can see now I can actually turn it freely. So I'll put it there. Done. It's a little strange place I put it. No, put it there. Whatever. So I've finished my text Weber line, and now I'll create an emboss. And this is now in the 3D sheet metal area. That's in the 3D model area. So emboss. Create that one. And haven't I chosen it? Should have. Okay, sorry, maybe I know what is wrong. Could be in the wrong direction. Let's see. That was better. It's typical for embosses that you are trying to emboss in the wrong direction. So I was simply flipping it here. Maybe 1 millimeter was a little too much, so I change that to be 0.2, for example. Yeah, something like that. Then we got the text on as emboss. We don't want to look at that plane, so I will visibility, take off the visibility of it. Errors. So I think we are there more or less. We could, the last thing, we should actually move to do the drawing now, but I think I'll do that in a separate video. But we could check if we can do the flat pattern. We need a flat pattern for doing also the drawing. Let's see, it seems to be working fine. That's always a check about things are working. They can actually unfold it. So it seems to be working fine with the flat pattern. But for the drawing, I think I'll put that in a separate video. So for now, this should be good enough. Thank you.